Hi, everybody. This is Hondo Carpenter, your Las Vegas Raiders beat writer on SI and the host of the Las Vegas Raiders Insider Podcast, joined by my much more beautiful part, Shannon Lee Carpenter, my beautiful bride. And I have to tell you,
my middle name.
Why?
I don't like it.
Of course you like your middle name. Our granddaughter's Bryn Lee.
I know.
All right. I want to give you a shout out. So I'm walking into Arrowhead Stadium. Okay, and I'm walking through the parking lot.
I'm nervous.
Okay, and a guy walks over to me, and his name is Clint, and he lives in Overland Park.
Okay.
I told him I would mention you. He said, Hondo, I'm not a Raider fan. He said, but I don't hate the Raiders. My boss is a Raider fan. And I said, okay. And he goes, he was watching your podcast with your wife, Shannon. And you made a comment about your beard, and she said she would not shave her legs. And he goes, I cannot believe I recognized you. He goes, my boss watches all of your podcasts. He called us all in to watch this. And he goes, it was really, really funny. He goes, and I just think it's hilarious. So he actually took a picture with me because I was clean shaven. So there you go, Clint in Overland Park. So to your boss, give him a raise.
I like to win.
All right, let's get going.
All right, Hondo.
But can I just tell everybody, if you have a question about the Raiders that you would like to submit to us to possibly answer, send us an email, Spartan Nation Mail, MAIL at yahoo.com. Put in the subject line, Raiders Q&A. Include your name, and your question. They go through, they read them. If they're long, they get deleted. If they're vulgar, get deleted. It doesn't matter if you agree with me or not, but if they're vulgar, they get deleted. Just have an opinion and move on. All right, let's go.
Hondo, I'm so depressed. After years of being a faithful fan, I am growing despondent. My children and now my grandkids won't even travel to Nevada to go to games with me. Sad Raiders, Joe M.
Well, first, let me just say to you, that is what I've been talking about for a few years. That you can get to a place where your fan base goes from sad, depressed, despondent to apathetic. Think about this. Obviously, he said his grandkids, right?
Yeah.
He has tickets.
Correct.
And they won't go to games. I mean, first of all, I would say this to your kids and grandkids if you're watching. Go with your grandpa and your dad.
It's more than just a game.
It's not just a game.
It's making memories.
But I'm going to tell you something. I'm hearing this a lot from fans. They've had it.
Yep.
They've had it. And I don't have anything else to say to you other than to your kids. It doesn't matter if you're a Raider fan or not. Go to the games with grandpa and your dad. I wish I could.
I know.
I wish I could.
All right. Sam Darnold equals success. Joe Flacco equals success. Anyone new to the Raiders and they suck. Wow. Hondo, I feel like we're cursed. Pat N. in New Mexico.
Well, I can certainly understand why you feel that way. You're right. Sam Darnold was out there for the Raiders. Raiders didn't want him. Joe Flacco was out there. Raiders didn't want him. But I would say this to you. It doesn't matter who you get if you don't get someone and run a system that works for them.
That makes sense.
Okay? And so, to me, that is a monster. You go get Jimmy Garoppolo, who all he was hurt. He got hurt. I mean, you got to get people, you got to give yourself a fighting chance. So I don't know that I would say cursed, although we certainly believe in those. The Bible's very clear about curses, but I wouldn't say that I don't know that I would say that organization's cursed, but it certainly needs to get out of its own way.
Hello, Hondo. Do you think if Pete felt as fond to JPJ as he does to Geno, would JPJ be the starting center on this team? If Kappa is as good as JPJ, or at least as they're trying to make him out to be, then why not JPJ at center and Kappa at LG? Why try to reinvent the wheel? Mel in Seattle.
So, Mel, a couple of things. I can tell you for a fact it is nothing personal with Pete. No, I can tell you that factually. And I couldn't tell you that with 100% certainty if I didn't know that. This is not a personal thing. I will tell you, there are a lot of people involved in leadership of a football team.
Mm.
And I'll just leave that right there. I'm not saying it isn't Pete's decision. I'm just saying a lot of people involved, and they believe, they meaning the brain trust, that Jordan Meredith is the future of where they want the center position to go. And they think JPJ is a better guard than a center. That's their belief. That's what they've communicated. So you can argue with that, but I don't think it's fair of you to say that it's personal, because I'm going to tell you right now, I wouldn't tell you that it wasn't if I didn't know factually that it's not personal. Pete genuinely likes JPJ.
All right. As a well-respected Raiders beat writer, can you explain why Mark Davis has not publicly apologized to us in Raider Nation for the mess that he has been assembled on the field under a future Hall of Fame coach? Can you, as an esteemed SI beat writer, let Mr. Davis know that a public apology would go a long way to help us cope in Raider Nation? No excuses, no empty promises, just an apology. Thank you, Hondo. I enjoy your coverage of the Raiders. All the best, Kurt Elbers in Victor, New York.
Could I? Absolutely. Will I? Absolutely not. It is not my job as a beat writer to call out this guy owes an apology or that guy. That is not my job. You as fans have a right to ask for one.
Right.
And he has a right to say pound sand or I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
That's not my job. My job is to cover the team factually, accurately, and fairly. Okay? That is not my job. I appreciate your kind words, but my job is not to say, hey, you owe an apology for this.
Right. It's true.
Now, in fairness, when last year there was a player that got in some legal trouble, and I said he owes an apology to his team. Okay, so you may say, well, how come you would say it for a player? That's a player. Scenario. That's a player that got into a legal issue, not a team that's losing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's not listen, I know my lane. And my job is to stay in my lane and to be faithful in my lane. This organization, I have said multiple times, has sold you for over 20 years on Just Win, and they haven't.
Mm-hmm.
It's sold you for 20 years, commitment to excellence. And it appears its commitment is to mediocrity. I don't believe that's its commitment. I've told you before, I 100% believe there's nobody more angry than Mark Davis. But I can see where fans have those opinions. I'm not afraid to call those things out. But I'm not going to, and let me just say something. I wouldn't do it to Mark Davis. I wouldn't do it to anybody. That's not my job to tell another person to be repentant.
Right.
And no, I wouldn't do it. I appreciate your question. I appreciate your heart and where it's coming from. Hey, I'm just a fan that wants somebody to look me in the eyes and tell me I'm sorry. Okay. That's not my job. My job is to report on the team and telling. That would be like me saying, Gino, you have to stand up and apologize to the fans for throwing an interception. That's not my job. I can point out and say that was a bad interception, but I'm not going to do the things that aren't my job, and that's not my job.
Right. Hondo, you and other beat writers said during training camp and early in the season that there was a ton of creativity in the Chip Kelly offense.
Yeah, we did.
You said something to the tune of, I can't reveal anything, but there's creativity coming.
Yep.
Without revealing anything, what the hell? Where is this magic creativity? Ooh, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
Giving Ashton the ball once in the first drive and hardly at all during the game when he's averaging 4 yards. A carry is negligent at best and sabotage at worst. Chip is getting paid $6 million, and that's all capitalized, by the way. $6 million offenses shouldn't have fewer first downs than the whole team had penalties. SMH, Todd, and San Diego. And I am a season ticket holder who is going to lose money on games I can't go to.
All right, let me say a couple of things, and I don't want to revisit the podcast after the game. Please go watch it. It's gotten tens of thousands of views. But I asked Pete. Pete talked about the game plan was to run the football against a team whose weakness was running the football. He said that was the game plan. That should have been the game plan. Down your two best receivers, Brock and Jacoby. And on your first drive, you have the ball to start the game. Now, I'm going to say this, and this gets me a ton of criticism, and I don't care. Pound sand. I will defend Pete Carroll's character. He is not a liar.
Right. And you should.
I'm not going to go there. And I'm not going to go there because I don't believe it to be true. Everything you just said, though, I own.
Right.
I said that. I didn't just say it once either. I said, ooh, the creativity. I can't reveal it, but wait till you see it. You're going to love it, Raider Nation. I said all that. All of that, 100%, I own it. I can't tell you about what other beat writers said because I don't pay attention to that. But I know I said it lots of times.
Right.
More than once, probably more than 3. I'll say I said it lots. So you come into the game in first quarter, you have 10 plays. In your number 6 overall pick, power back against a team that struggles with the run. And you throw it 80% of the time. Where I'm from in the Midwest, we'd say, folk, that dog don't hunt. It is illogical. It is malfeasance. It is, well, what do you call it when a doctor screws up?
Malpractice?
It is coaching malpractice. And to have happened from a $6 million a year coordinator, inexcusable. I was at dinner the night before, and the topic of discussion was someone directly connected to the Chiefs. Oh yeah, you guys are going to run it with Ashton.
Hello.
It's like walking into Golden Corral with a fistful of hundreds and leaving hungry. 0 cents. Now, when the game got away from them, I understand that. I'm going to leave it right there. So I'm going to tell you, I'm asking the same questions.
Yeah.
Where is this? Where is that of which we saw? I'm going to go Shakespearean. Where is this of that of which we have spoken? What is going on? All right, let's move on. I don't want to say something I'm going to regret.
Good day, Unc. What is going on with our play calling? Is there any hope that we move on from Kelly during the bye week? I'm not done yet, but wow.
Oh, okay.
How does a top 10 pick only touch the ball 6 times in an entire game? I apologize for the multiple questions, but Unc, this team is driving the nation insane. Have a great day. Oh, I don't know if I've ever seen a man shave so quickly after his wife threatens hairy legs. Gerald T.
All right, good question. So let me say a couple of things here. First of all, not a top 10 pick, top 6. That real estate's getting a lot more expensive the closer north of 10 you go.
Right.
Is there a chance you move on from Kelly? Okay. Mark had told Josh and Dave Ziegler if they beat New England, they were going to get the rest of the year. And then he fired him. Okay. So I'm not going to say anything. Is there a chance? Are you saying there's a chance? Remember that movie Dumb and Dumber? Are you saying there's never mind. Why am I asking you?
I don't. I actually did see that movie, but it's been so long I don't really remember.
Are you saying there's a chance? Okay. Is there a chance? Sure. I'm not calling for it. I'm not advocating for it. But is there a chance? Sure. Do I think it's possible? No. Do I think it's probable? No. Possible? Yeah. Probable?
Hi, Hendo. This is Ben C. from Syracuse. I hope all is well with you and your family. My question is, If you had to pick one main reason why the season has gone as bad as it has, what would it be? The roster, coaching, injuries, poor quarterback play. I really had hope that with Pete, Spytek, and Brady on board that things would be better, but this looks as bad or worse than it did under McDaniels.
All right.
What's his name? Ben.
Well, first of all, I would say if I had to put and it's more than one thing, but if I had to put one, what do I always teach? Everything rises and falls on
leadership.
Everything. Everything in life rises and falls on leadership. So you have to put it squarely on coaching. And all right, do I think Geno's been good? No. But I pointed this out in my post-game press conference. Geno's success in his career has come under center, play action passing. And he's been really good. Mm-hmm. And so what do? You get him and run him out of a shotgun. I think it was Ryan McFadden of ESPN, who's a wonderful kid, by the way, great kid, great journalist, wrote an article the other day that 80% of his passes are coming out of a shotgun. When his strength is under center. And then if you wanted a quarterback to run that way, okay, running out of a pistol, you have an offensive line that's suspect, so put a second guy in the backfield to block for Geno. So you know that Chris Jones is blowing up and Ashton can't get out of the backfield. Okay, then get him help because you want to run the football. Because you want to allegedly be a play-action team, then you've got to make the running play. I mean, I'm going to tell you this. Have there been issues on defense? There have. Have there been issues on special teams? There have. But the offensive I don't even know that the offensive utilization of players, the entirety of the offense to me, and I'm talking about from the coaching side, utilization of players, play calling, all that has been bad. Are there other areas? Yes, but you only asked me for one. That's the biggest one. It doesn't look like a Pete, and Pete has said, we want to do that. This is how we do it. I mean, Pete's called it out. What?
No, I've never seen you so I mean, you're answering all the questions, but you're almost speechless. It's like
no, I'm not speechless. I have a lot of respect for these people.
No.
But I'm going to tell you where I'm at. Okay, it's beginning to not make sense.
Yes,
it's beginning.
That is what you.
It is nonsensical. Okay, if you want to run your quarterback in a gun, pistol, okay, then. But if that's not, then why go get Geno? It feels like to me, everyone wants to blame Geno, and he's had his fair share of bad choices. Mm-hmm. But you're also putting him in a system. Okay, so let me give you an example, okay? Shannon has a beautiful, beautiful vehicle. I have they're two different vehicles, but they're both very, very nice, wonderful vehicles. We both love our vehicles. In fact, she gave me mine as a gift. And we bought hers.
And was a gift from you.
Anyways, so if she needed a transmission, even though my vehicle is very expensive, as is hers, you couldn't put my transmission in yours.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It doesn't mean that it's a bad transmission. Okay. I think Geno is getting a lot of grief here. But he's also being asked to do things of which his track record. And I asked Geno, go watch the video. I asked Geno after the game, do you want to see more where you've had your success? And he goes, well, I think I can succeed. Not throwing the coaches under the bus. It is nonsensical. It is literally not making sense.
That is exactly the words.
And it is baffling. And let me just say this one. You were with me today.
Oh, yeah, a couple of phone calls.
Yeah. Two very prominent that you all know who they are. Very prominent people called. And I'm not going to say anything that they said other than the exact same statements.
Yeah.
And I said to one of them, who's got hardware, they've won a Super Bowl. I told him, I said, hey, I got this on speaker. Do you care if Shannon listens? No, I don't care. I said the same thing I said to you all. This is nonsensical. And they go, it makes zero sense.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad. I'm not a fan. But I'm not going to sit here and take a fecal sandwich and tell you that it's egg salad. What is so funny?
Just the way that you're saying it, because we're on camera, and then make an egg sandwich.
I'm not going to make a fecal sandwich and tell you, hey, here's a prime rib dip. I'm not going to do that. It's disrespectful.
It's true.
But
Hondo, I hope you're doing well.
Oh, and let me go back because I'm getting fired up. I did ask Pete about this after the game. I said to him, and to Pete's credit, this is why I Pete's like, that was the game plan. Game got a little bit ahead of us. It was a game plan. Okay. And I asked a Super Bowl winning coach today, you tell him if this is not 100% true. How would you fix this? And he told me how he would fix it. Mm-hmm. Remember? Because we talked about it after. And I'm going to talk about this before the next game. Not today. I'm going to talk about it before the next game. Let's go.
Hondo, I hope you are doing well. After the Raiders lost to the Chiefs, I thoroughly enjoyed your podcast. As a devoted Raiders fan for 53 years, I'm eager to see my team make the necessary roster moves to become playoff contenders. However, I'm curious to know if the Raiders' plan after this humiliating defeat to Kansas is to take the Chiefs seriously and embark on a journey to build a team capable of winning the AFC West. Thank you, Michael from Charlotte, North Carolina.
One can only hope that's the plan. And that certainly should be the plan. I would hope that it is the plan. I know that's what Mark Davis wants. I can't crawl up into anybody's head. Because if I was the offensive coordinator, y'all wouldn't have seen what you saw. Next.
Hey, Hondo, I like Pete, but with almost nothing working right, why has he not assumed that the players they feel were best are not the best and try throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks? Both players and coaches. Thanks, Doug from Colorado.
Doug, I believe in Pete. I do. I'm sorry. It isn't like the guy forgot how to coach. I had a national media guy. I'm going to show Shannon because I don't think she saw it, but you're going to see who it was. A very well-known, famous national media guy sent me a text today. Look who just texted me.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl coach I was just telling you about. This is what this national media guy said to me today. You can see who it is. Yeah. He said, I didn't think this was a good fit. And he did. He sent me stuff that he said on his broadcast when they hired Pete. But I believe in Pete. But this organization looks like it's on a bunch of different pages.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
And two people can't walk together unless they be in agreement.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
It's principle. That works. Dear Hondo, I really appreciate the way you break down the games and report the facts. Your analysis is always clear and insightful.
Let me just say something. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And sometimes because I say I'm not a fan, and I'm not, it doesn't mean I don't care.
Oh, exactly.
I'm going to say this to you, okay? And I have said this several times. I have had animus before towards coaches that the Raiders had, not head coaches, but assistant coaches. I've told you that. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I have zero animus against Chip Kelly. He's a good guy. I like Chip. This is not personal at all. Now, I'm sure if somebody's critical of you, you're going to take it personal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying Chip will. I'm just saying, but I have zero animus here. These are good people. It's just not working. But it's not personal. But I appreciate those kind words. Thank you.
As a longtime Raiders fan, I always make sure to follow your coverage. I do have a question that's been on my mind. Why does it seem like the Raiders struggle to get things right when it comes to improving the team? Other organizations, such as the Colts, Broncos, or Buccaneers, often appear to rebuild and turn things around much faster. Could it be that the high expectations within Raider Nation add extra pressure on the team's progress? Miguel. That's a
great question.
Super good question, but yeah.
Your expectations should make it easier here.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Here is the issue. You cannot have, picture a canoe, and you got people rowing in different directions. Now, Pete's talked about, hey, that's not how we do things. I want to run this. I want more Jack Bech. I want this. I want more Ashton, whatever. And then you okay, well, this is the game plan to do that. Okay, but you didn't do it. The Raiders, do you remember I talked about this summer, reasons for optimism? And I told you, it finally appeared that there was continuity of purpose. People, you know what? I've seen teams throw the football. I've seen teams that run that are balanced. I've seen teams that win that are run heavy. I've seen teams that run cover 3, teams that run cover 2, teams that run the zone. I've seen teams that do the system, the method is not sacred. The message is. And it clearly appears that they got to get everybody on one page. I am not in any way advocating or saying, boy, there's division and everybody hates each other. That's not what I'm saying. So don't be a moron and say that, because I'm not. But guess what? There have been times in our marriage where Shannon and I sit down and we pray together every morning. And we've sat down and said, hey, we got to get on the same page on something. And it doesn't mean we don't love each other. It doesn't mean we don't care. It doesn't mean we were headed to divorce. We weren't. We needed to get on the same page. Mm-hmm. Same thing. They got to get on the same page. Good.
Hey, Hendo, I've been a Raider fan since before you were born. You don't know how old he really is.
Shannon, you're Czechoslovakian.
I'm sorry. They heard me.
No, they can't. You whisper. She's Czechoslovakian. She yells all the time. In fact, she has a shirt. You got to wear that the next time. It says, I'm not yelling, I'm Czech. And then you get in here and you whisper. Tell them what you said.
It says he was a Raider fan before he was born. And I said, you don't really know how old he is then. I did not expect a win versus the Chiefs, but I did expect some indication of forward progress.
I agree.
I understand the new regime concept, but it keeps looking like the same old thing. What are your honest thoughts? Kenneth M.
Kenneth, I think that's an insult to the same old thing. This was worse than last year. Mm-hmm. That's an insult to last year's team. You just insulted the 2024 Raiders. You said that it's more of the same. They didn't look good last year, but I didn't see them look that bad once.
Yeah.
And I saw them look bad. I'm at every game. Now you got to go insult the 24 team like that. Listen, Linda. I'm sorry about that. I know your name's not Linda. Shannon found this, I don't know if it's a reel or a meme or a TikTok or whatever it's called, of this little boy. He's talking to his mama. Listen, Linda, honey. Why you got to go insult the 24 team like that? Why you got to do that? Let's go.
In the words of Dexter, why you do this?
Yeah.
Or why you do that?
Dexter, Daddy. There he'll go, Dad. Why you do that? Let's go.
All right. With Brock out, the defenses double Myers. Then the defenses stack the box to prevent the run. We have Thornton and Trey, who are both extremely fast, but there does not seem to be many vertical passes to make the defenses respect the threat. Do you think it's Geno not trusting it or the O-line not holding it up? We have 2 weeks to get healthier. And if Geno does not trust it, seems like Kenny may need to get more work with the ones. Thoughts? 55-year fan, Vegas, Mike M. Close
What?
to being a Raider fan longer than.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm 54.
I know.
All right. So I would say this to you. Again, Geno has to stay upright. And there are times that they have blocked really well. But you have to set your team up to – this is where play action draws people in, and then you can throw deep over their heads. I mean, you're watching teams line up in a deep cover 2 or a deep cover 3. You're not going to throw deep. I mean, you have to use the run to set up the pass. So, again, back to coaching.
Yeah. For the past 2 years, you've mentioned that the Raiders shouldn't tank the season because it would send the wrong message to our players.
I did.
Starting from Mark and the locker room. However, I can't help but question whether our current team's leadership shows any different, even without trying to tank. Shouldn't we at least consider tanking now to finally draft the much-needed quarterback that we lack? Thank you for your time, Hondo. Miguel from Denver, Colorado.
Oh, 2 Miguel.
Yeah.
All right. So let me just say this real quick. I addressed tanking last year, which is where you go to your team and say, lose. And I talked about you cannot tell these guys to lose and then expect them to turn it on next year.
Yeah.
Okay. There is a difference between tanking and turning an eye to the future.
Okay.
Turning an eye to a future is, okay, Max, we're going to limit you. You're a generational talent. You're a Hall of Fame guy. And we're going to give young guys chances. We're going to go put some young guys in there and take our licks, give them some experience. I would absolutely be pivoting to the future. And I asked Pete, go watch the video. I asked Pete after the game about it yesterday. And by the way, earlier I said I asked the question, and I don't remember which one it was. And for some reason, I think someone else may have asked it. But I was going to, and then they did. I'm putting that out there in case I said I asked a question and I didn't.
You did say that.
So I want to be accountable on that. But I would totally turn my eye to the future right now.
All right. Hondo, have you seen Shannon's facial expressions as you were talking, protecting the football, protecting the oblong
ellipsoid
with Lord of the Rings references? Priceless. I could not stop laughing. Your podcast is the best. Mike Luce in Tacoma, Washington. Thank you.
Hey, Mike.
We had fun.
Appreciate that. We do have fun. I'm going to tell you, one of the advantages of being married to your absolute best friend in the entire world is that even tough times can be fun because we're together. Mm-hmm. So, no, I didn't see her face. I would have thought she'd been shouting amen behind me because I had trained her right. Clearly, she thought it more of a comedic sketch.
Oh. Let's be serious. All right. Hondo, I know you hate speculation, but if you were Mark Davis, how would you fix this? Lance P. The Woodlands.
Oh,
Texas.
We love the Woodlands.
Yes.
Matter of fact, we're going to be eating at some Papacito tomorrow. Giggity, giggity, goo.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. Now, I'm going to say this to you, okay? If I were Mark Davis, this is what I would do. I would call Tom Brady, John Spytek, and Pete Carroll in my office. And I would say, I would get a blackboard, and I'd say, and get my chalk and say, okay, who are we? Now, I like the play action pass offense. I love the variable of a 4-3 defense that attacks. That's what Patrick Graham does. That's his specialty. And that's what Pete Carroll does. And I would say this is where I want to go. And here is how we're going to get there. One voice. I would say to John Spytek, I have faith in Pete Carroll. Pete, are you here with me long term? I know you're 73. I don't give a crap. I think he's 74 now, but I don't give a crap about your age. He's young. He's vibrant. I throw his age out. Are you with me long term? Meaning, will you be here in 5 years? And Pete's going to look at him and say, absolutely, I will. Okay, good. Then this is where I want to go. We've got Patrick Graham. Okay, do we have the right guy in Chip Kelly? That would be a serious discussion. I mean, you don't bring Chip Kelly in to run that offense if Chip Kelly isn't proficient. And listen, the man's forgotten more than I have about football. I mean, he's getting paid $6 million large a year. He's the highest paid offensive coordinator in the NFL. Give the man his respect. He clearly has earned it among the NFL people. I would not write an $18 million check or however much it would cost me to get rid of him. There's rumors it's a 3-year deal. I don't know that. I do know 1 year for sure. I'm not paying. I wouldn't have paid him that. And you know that. I told you at the time. But this is what we're going to do. Are you on board, Chip, or not? And do you understand? This is Pete's vision. And then I'm going to turn to Tom and say, give us input, give us thought process on what we have to do to shape and get in this direction. I would get everybody on one page, speaking one voice, going in one direction. And if I'm Mark, I would absolutely look and say, Chip, I'm paying you $6 million large. My coach is talking about things he doesn't like about the offense to the media. We picked the number 6 overall running back because we want to run the football. Tell me why you should stay here. Mm-hmm. Now, Chip may have great reasons. Mm-hmm. And then you say, okay, great. I appreciate your reasons. We believe in you. You're a good man. You're a proven coach. Excellent. I don't care about your reasons. Do this. And I would look at Pete and say, make it so.
Yep.
Next, I turn to Spytek. I want you to sit down with Pete. Every person that you don't see here as a key contributor in 2027 on a playoff push. On a playoff push. Get rid of them. Trade them. If we keep them to the end of the year because we've already paid them because nobody wants to trade for them, put them on the bench, put somebody young in there, and let's see what we got. Hey, we're going to look really bad. Well, we can't work worse than we do, and guess what? Then we may get the number 1 overall pick, and somebody may fall in love with somebody that we're not in love with, and we get more picks.
Right.
And I would look at every single player as a potential trade bait. It's exactly what I would do. And I would get this thing fixed. Enough Scotch tape and Elmer's glue. Mm-hmm. If you have to strip it down and start over again, just make sure this time you get it right. Mm-hmm. You know, General Patton used to say, I don't like paying for real estate twice. He never retreated. And it just seems like the Raiders have a track record of and I just would say to Chip, I fired a very bad offensive coordinator in Luke Getsy and had an interim, paid you $6 million large, went out and traded for the big-time quarterback, got the number 6 overall running back, the number 6 overall pick on a running back, and we're worse. Mm-hmm. Now remember, this when I say we're, you asked me what I would do if I was Mark Davis. So I'm speaking to Mark Davis. We're worse. We're not equal. We're worse. I looked at worse up in that word worse up in the dictionary. You know what it means? Hand me my dictionary right here, Shannon. Let's look the word worse up with everybody over here.
Is it up?
Yeah, it's up there. Okay. Here we go. The word worse in the dictionary. You ready? The definition of the word worse. Ready for some wisdom?
Yes.
Worse. You're worse. You know what it means? Worse. How can that be? Now, if I'm Mark, and I have no idea who did this, I would look at whoever told me that Chip was the answer. Tell me why I don't get rid of you.
Right. There you go. Now you're talking.
You told me this was the answer. It's my checkbook. Remember, this is Mark's checkbook. Mm-hmm. Y'all need to give the man credit. He's willing to write the checks. And I look at whoever and say, if Shannon and I go to a Ruth Chris and I order the most beautiful piece of beef on that table, and they say, would you like this particular beef? Yeah, okay, great. We'll bring you the best piece of beef. It's $300 a plate. Okay, great. And they lift off the lid, and it is a McDonald's hamburger. I'm going to be mad. Mm-hmm. Mark bought the most expensive piece on the menu, and it ain't even a Happy Meal. It's a half a hamburger that fell under the car seat, and it's been there for 8 months, and it's moldy. And it's worse.
Great analogy.
Worse. No, that dog don't hunt. If I'm Mark, I want answers. And I want them right now. Mm-hmm. No BS. And I would tell everybody in that room, y'all better speak up. Because I'm going for answers. If I'm Mark Davis, I don't ever sign another big deal. You did it with John. You did it with Josh McDaniels. You did it with Chip. I would go find a very hungry coach. And I think Pete would have done this. And say, listen, I'm willing to pay. I'm willing to pay. I'll pay you $1 million a year, but every year that you go to the playoffs, $10 million. And every playoff win is another 10. And it'll be a total of $50 million in bonuses per year if you win a Super Bowl. I'm willing to pay. I'm just tired of paying and getting nothing. Mm-hmm. I'm tired of being told it's the best piece of meat at the restaurant. And it's an old, nasty chicken McNugget that fell out of your toddler's hand. Worse.
Ready?
Did I answer it?
Yeah, completely.
I'm defending Mark Davis now. And you know I don't have to. But I am going to tell you this. I was on the phone with someone today. Shannon heard the whole call. And their exact words were, how do you get worse? How do you make that big of an investment?
That is the question of the season.
And now let me give hope. Because I'm not, I don't think I'm piling it on. I'm sitting here defending people's character as humans. And I have been harsh on Chip, but it's warranted.
Yeah.
But he's a good man. Nothing personal. I think quite frankly, I like him. But it's the reality. This isn't Sunday school teachers. It's offensive coordinators in the National Football League.
Exactly.
Next.
Hondo, biggest shock of 2025 season for you, Melissa Decatur.
You go draft the best running back prospect since Saquon Barkley. Not Saquon, but the best since. And you're sitting here. Why not use him? Now, again, the last 3 quarters of that game, it got away from him. And then you have to pass. But don't pick them if you're not going to use them. It would be like having Tom Brady as your quarterback and saying you're not allowed to audible. Tom Brady's strength was he was the smartest guy on the field, and he could walk to the line of scrimmage. He was prepared. He was studied. He knew everything that you were going to do, and he would audible into the play that would work almost every time. He was can't miss. The greatest football player to ever play the game. And let me tell you, that's saying a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And telling him you can't audible. Why pick the kid?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got him on a pitch count. It's not baseball. Your coach says, I want to run the ball. Okay. We're going against a team that struggles against the run. Okay. Let's pass 80% of the time in the first quarter when we get the ball first. Again, I know this sounds like, boy, Hondo's hammering on Chip. I'm not. I'm trying to say to you, it is nonsensical. And you just asked me what was the biggest surprise. That's it. Now, there may be reasons because I'm not the smartest card in the deck. But she'll tell you, I'm talking to a lot of people trying to get the same answers.
Right.
And these are people a lot smarter than me. And they're asking the same ones the fans are. All right, next.
Not football.
Oh, da-da-da. The next question is not a football question. Therefore, if you only want to talk football, please turn off the podcast now. But if you do keep it on, do not bitch, moan, or complain because we don't care because we warned you. It's not a football question. I'm looking forward to this question because now I get to talk about something and hopefully not be ticked off.
It's for me, so you don't need to talk.
Shannon bought me this back scratcher.
Yeah, Shannon, I love you being on the podcast. I love how much Hondo loves you.
And I do.
And everyone asks him for advice. My question is, what is your best piece of advice to find a man who will love me like that? He is very successful, but adores you. Katrina P. in Orange County, California.
Well, I do love you. Well, you should have asked me, Katrina, because I could tell you, but go ahead.
Yeah. Well, they don't want your answer because I know what your answer is. First of all, you have to work on you and make you the best available person that you can be for whoever Mr. Right is. And the Bible tells us in Proverbs that he who finds a wife finds a good thing. So you don't go out there looking for somebody. Get yourself in a spot that you are ready to be married. I try to be a Proverbs 31 woman. I am very in love with Jesus more than I am with my husband.
Thank God.
And I have to have my life right and be somebody that he would want me to be so that it attracts him. And then he'll find you. But the biggest piece of advice is sit down and ask yourself, who am I? Not just who are you, whose are you? I'm his, yes, but first of all, I'm his. I belong to Christ first. And once you get your ducks in a row and you get all of that taken care of, most girls think I'm going to go to the bar and find a man. You don't go to the bar and find a man. You're not going to find somebody who's going to love you like that. You're not going to find somebody.
Well, they might find one there.
Well, okay, but when you go to the bar and find a man and you don't wait for that man to find you,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
you are
Okay. I
not
see your point. Yeah.
going to, you're not going to get maybe what God intended for you to have.
Yeah. If you're out looking, let him find you. I see your
Yes,
point now.
let him find you. So my best piece of advice is work on you. Make yourself worthy of that man who wants you.
Great answer. All right. It's a bye week.
Let's go.
So you know what? We're going to believe the very best. These are good men.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to believe that they are going to get it together, get this thing off a high center. We're going to believe that. We're going to believe that. Because they are good men. That's truthful.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody. Thanks. We'll appreciate you. See you next time. Thank you, Shannon.